Hey Kelly, welcome or welcome back. So, traveling in the UK without no compass. Well, we've done it for years. We do it all the time. It's a lot easier than you think. So let's have a proper look, shall we? But if you are a fan of the outdoors, seasoned and unseasoned, smash that subscribe button, like and follow along. It really does help out the channel and brings you much more content to see. So how do we navigate the UK without a compass? I mean, most of the time we won't have a compass. Things like Google Maps. Google is your friend, after all. Things like Google Maps, if you know roughly where you're going, take a screenshot. If you look here, it will show you north as to where you're going. Not only that, is we're in the northern hemisphere here in the UK. So have a look, follow the sun. Now the sun typically, as you'll probably know, or may not, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Yes, there are variations when the world tilts at certain times of year, but it will be like northeasterly and set northwesterly. But, you know, potato, potato, right? Another one is the moon. The moon will also go the same way, so even at night time. If not, have a look at this image. It will tell you about the stars. Typically the Big Dipper. Make sure that if you've got the Big Dipper, you follow that edge of the frying pan or dipper, whatever you want to call it, and you'll find the North Star. So that is true north, I think, allegedly. Another thing I like to use, sun sticks. It's just a stick. But you remember, you put them in the ground. It's not really that sunny today. I mean, there you go. But if you remember, you put them in the ground and you do the old sundial thing. Whichever way the shadow faces, depending on if you're in the northern or southern hemisphere. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it will point north. The shadow will point in an east to west north arc, you know. Failing that, you know, I'm out here. The sun's up there, you know. So I know that if the sun rose over that way this morning, it's going to set over that way this evening. That's north. Not bad, eh? Another secret weapon. Dogs will typically poop with a south to north facing sort of way. They've got it inside their bodies, they just know. Most animals, remember this one, they know which way north is. Stay to the end to find out why. But it is a good secret weapon to have if you have a pet dog specifically. Also, another thing to take note of is if you've got friends and family and you live in houses, have a look around you. Most satellite dishes will only point south, in the northern hemisphere anyway. Because of the equator, most satellites are going around that way, so they'll all point in that rough direction. And solar panels. Solar panels, predominantly, I would suggest that they all point south, right? Well, that's because the sun is more southerly. Don't mean to patronise you, but some people do get confused sometimes. Another secret I like to use instead of a compass is trees. Trees are our friends. They have been here for millions of years, way before us anyway. Even just walking through here, I can see which way is north, roughly. You know, it's not fail-safe. It is not fail-safe, especially in wet, damp areas. And if you're near streams, trees get confused. But for instance, in this area, now we've got all these trees around us. And we've got, here you go, a birch tree. There is no moss on this side of the tree. And on this side of the tree is moss. Now, I have brought a compass with me just to try and prove this to you. All right, let's have a look. Now, I would suggest that this side of the tree is south facing and the side with the moss on, around this side, is north facing. Now, would you look at that? It's only rough. Let's try and pop it up a little bit. There we go. So we've got the south facing side with the no moss, and we've got the north facing side with the moss. Let's put this on here just to make sure that we're not lying. There you go. So south and north. I'd like to pause for a moment to give thanks to our coffee crew. You guys are absolutely brilliant. You keep us going, and yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. So thank you ever so much to all of you. And also, if you do want to get to know us a bit more personally, do consider becoming a member. You'll get to see like our lives, our live updates, locations, fun things, cook-alongs, and also members giveaways, shout outs, and much, much more. Let's just stop gassing, shall I? Let's get back into it. Another good one is look at churches. Churches, older churches more specifically, were built east to west fairing. Now with that, the altar would be facing east, right? So off of that, you can tell, okay, have a look in a church, and all of a sudden the altar's east. Just another add-on to that, if you have a look at a church spire, most of them have them, they've got the north, south, east and west on the top. It's a good idea to look at those too. Now, I don't know if any of you remember, but the old wives' tale, all streams flow south, it's a misconception. But it does work. It does have clarity. It does have clout somewhere in certain areas, but typically it's to do with the lay of the land. However, in Nottingham, the River Trent in Newark, I think it's called Newark, Nork. Yeah, the River Trent, that flows north for some weird reason. Have a look into it. Let me know why down in the comments. Do remember that in the UK, our prevailing wind typically comes from the southwest. That's why the west coast predominantly is more wetter than the east coast, and that typically is because of the orographic effect. Now the orographic effect is basically the prevailing wind pushes on the damp wet weather over cliffs, mountains and land masses, and yeah, it just basically condensates and makes everything super wet, and that heat and the moisture, all of a sudden it just drops. So yeah, do remember that prevailing wind typically from the southwest. Not only that, is you remember what I said about dogs pooping and a sense of direction? Well, guess what? You've got it too. And try it out. Honestly, try it out. It's really good. So with your friends, basically blindfold them, turn them around in a circle and say, which way's north? Get the compass out. You'll be really surprised. You'll be shocked. We are animals as well. We know which way is north. If we think about it, typically no. We need to feel it. But try it out. Let me know your results down in the comments, right? It'll be absolutely brilliant to hear what happened and how far out you were. Failing that, if you do have signal or anything like that, maybe £9 for an OS map, get yourself a proper map, depending on the area that you're going. You can't beat them. It will give you the elevation, it will show you springs, it will show you waterways that not even Google Maps know about. It's brilliant. However, if you have got signal in an area that might have signal, you can download Outlander maps, OS maps, all sorts of things. Have a look into them, keep yourself safe, and just remember, always have fun, be sensible, and if you get really lost, just ask someone. You remember the old days, excuse me, where's there? Yeah, they might send you around in circles, but still, it's a laugh. And yeah, you'll enjoy it. And also, do remember, we've got the advanced top tips coming up for wild camping, and we're trying out this bad boy. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be fun. Another new 20 top tips part 2. Let us know if you'd like something like that or something completely different. Anyway, have a good weekend, and until next time, happy hopping.